Hello, and welcome to another episode. Bleh. It's my words. Sometimes happens in my long COVID of my Stellaris Let's Play. This is Northstar. I hope you folks are well. I took a moment to gather my thoughts here. Tired and not thinking the most clearly, so I need it. I did notice a few things as I was looking around. First of all, Sujimia here is a shipyard. It's not building anything. The defaults to showing worlds aren't in my borders, but here we go. We start this world off with some specialist jobs. It's not a great place for it. Maybe a generator support city district and some housing, of course. It's provided by the cities, but anyways, I usually start with some buildings, so planetary infrastructure upkeep. Alright. Gemia Prime. Yes, this arc at this Gemia Starbase. Should have started that earlier, but I missed that the shipyard was done because I didn't get a notification because it went right into the hydroponics bay. Which looks like 140 is almost 5 months ago. Oh well. Can't cry over spilt milk. Soon, Cosmog 1 station. Cosmog 1, but the name of the... That's weird. The star is Cosmog 1, but the... Orval 1. Anyway, soon the Cosmog 1 station will, be upgradable with as a trade hub. Things. Squires provide some naval capacity. It's good because I'll need to expand my fleets before I can take on these mining roads. Eventually, I'll need to be ready for war with the Hive to my northwest. And, let's see. Wait, there were two. One of them must have already demoted. Or resettled? Weird. Where'd the other Digimar pop go? Settled to my capital. I want him to go to Anchor. Said he's staying here and actually took a specialist job, annoyingly, despite his low habitability. Now the game's trying to put pre-sapiens in this job, even though they can't do them. Obviously, there are problems with the job prioritization here. Can't seem to get it to not promote these guys to specialists. I'll just have to do that. Hmm. Migration controls would upset any egalitarian factions, but I don't have one yet. These guys just keep moving around in annoying ways. So I'm just trying the migration controls on them for now. I doubt I'll have a egalitarian faction within 10 years. I can change it if I need to in the future. These guys here contributing to pop growth. I suppose there were... No, this was already max, so they were... That was just pointless. When they demote to civilians, they can cheaply resettle them to anchor. Alright, let's go. Oh. Wonder how long it'll take to realize these guys can't work intelligence jobs. Not that I technically... What? It doesn't even have all the jobs filled. What's this? What the heck is going on? Why does it want to promote more specials? This is nonsense. And stupidly let me unemploy the automated jobs as if I'd want to do that. I always want all the automated miners I can get. Just gonna do that. Actually, I want civilians to send to synth. And actually to anchor. I need more squires. So let's see, I was thinking about the tech. You guys saw it come up before, though, and take it artificial moral codes. It seems like nonsense, like people in top society just deciding whatever's ethical based on probably what profits them. Especially an authoritarian society like this, I'm more than a little cynical of that. It's also my brain is drawing the connection. If you ever saw the, I think it's like called The Egg Generations, this movie about where like artificial womb technology, and you end up with people taking these like egg things home with them, and instead of having kids naturally, so women can more easily basically be exploited by their employers to not have to have reduced like light duty because they're pregnant. That's how it ends up working in the show anyways. I was thinking about how this like, well, anything but class, anything but capitalism analysis that underlie that. It's also I've been reading, and I had sat down to rest and read a little the Stormlight Archive
debris analyzed
series, which is funny because that series it's like many fantasy series set in a kind of medieval setting. They always do it in medieval. It's never like classical or modern or industrial revolution. It's always, or even Renaissance, it's always a medieval setting. Which of course allows them to recapitulate a liberal revolution. Not necessarily liberal in the sense of it today, but liberal as in overthrowing feudalism and basically instituting capitalism as a system instead of feudalism, which is a step forward. Indeed, any person of sane, sound mind will tell you that capitalism is a step forward from feudalism. Yeah, even the Marxists agree on that. They just believe that socialism is a step forward from that. So pretty much the entire world, except these weird monarchists, agrees that feudalism is a primitive system compared to modern ones. Although you find, if you ever play it Surviving 4, you find these weird, they're like literally monarchists that show up in the community. It's kind of ridiculous. The last monarchies on Earth really died in World War II. People think earlier, but no. Like the Austro-Hungarian Empire collapsed after World War I, but there was actually technically Hungary had a regency and joined the Axis. And monarchists in Austria were actually part of how the Nazis took over there a little bit. They played a role in the politics, although they weren't necessarily friends of the Nazis. In Poland, you had these weird monarchist hangers, people who wanted to revive it, and still in France at the time. You had kings still in like Norway, Denmark, UK, the Netherlands. Yeah, any hints of monarchism died in World War II, but they were around until then. That was when the monarchist movements really finally died off. These ancient vestiges of, well, frickin' hereditary privilege at its extreme, really. But you still get some weird, for example, you can revive certain monarchies, and there were people who dreamed of doing it in that time period historically. So but you get weird players who think that monarchy would be a good idea in the real world. It's like, no. But anyways, I'm getting on a tangent, as I sometimes do with my long COVID, because my brain doesn't focus incredibly well. Thanks to it. I was pre-med on the verge of becoming a physician before. I was much better at focusing things. Trust me on that. Focusing on things before this. Trust me on that. But the many cognitive effects of long COVID. Not how my brain works now. Fluctuating shield frequencies. After months of work, our scientists finally managed to alternate the Ibn Battuta shields in such a way that the Heroes got 5 Tempest released the script on the Marine ship that was a while ago. Communications with Ernst Klein were quickly reestablished, and incredibly, none aboard the Ibn Battuta seemed to remember their time trapped in such storm, which is years. They didn't even age. It's worth noting. Physics research gained. 2360. It's like a Star Trek thing where there's a whole thing that happens and nobody remembers it after. I won't actually see the deposit because I don't have full intel there, but this actually adds energy. Just got 5. It wouldn't show me the deposit, I don't believe. Back to work. Ernst Klein gains field manipulation. Expertise. Which would be useful if he was the head of research. There are some actually useful field manipulation techs, but so Shadow, oh yeah, that's one where I find a frozen snail. I can get a Zizan armies potentially, as well as Titanic ones, and then clone armies. These really help with ground war against the hive mind here. You suffer less war exhaustion when you use a clone army, and though the Zizans and Titanic, you actually suffer as much as losing, I think, 2 normal armies. They're more than twice as hard to kill, so you tend to lose them less. They withdraw more from combat. Survive more fights. So those bigger armies also help with war exhaustion. I think you lose, they're 3 times as hard to kill, but you only lose as much war exhaustion as 2 normal armies. Not quite as efficient as clone armies, but they, for war exhaustion, but they are cheaper to maintain, relatively. So yeah, some cost-effective troops for ground combat. Why do these guys insist on taking jobs from pops that have higher habitability? I want them to demote and work as technicians, which they're good at. Whatever. There's a pop there, so that occasionally I'll get another one. Eventually get some technicians of that group, and they only have 5% less habitability. They're at 95 instead of 100. The attack will be up to 100, and they'll be, well, pretty much the same as my other pops. Won't actually be a problem, but they'll actually have more authoritarian draw, and so it'd be slightly happier than my Alari pops, so cool. Why are these guys so happy? They aren't, it just hasn't recalculated yet. Anyways, burning through historic physics and society research, I'll grab quantum energy states. About to get afterburners. Full tech. About to do some fleet expansions, probably with just frame class corvettes at first. Boom. So they're so cheap to upkeep. You know what? I'd like to know when that science ship is done, so hopefully I'll get a notification if I don't do anything else up. Alright.
Construction completed.
Done with the hydroponics bay, I see. So I wasn't worried about a food deficit. Or two, or being weird.
Knowledge is the key to the universe.
Afterburners. Finished the ship and didn't give me a warning or anything. Oh well. Mining stations. Does that include these? No, that comes from like the geothermal fracking tab. Oh yeah, deep core mining will help. Seismic tunneling yard. It's another extra district thing. I'd probably never do. A complex equipped for higher efficiency tunnel carving and subterranean stabilization. Expand access to otherwise unreachable mineral veins. Let's see, is this supposed materials. Workshop could be eventually be useful in this world. Instant 4. What could disrupt that thing's triple just oh yeah. Okay, yeah, that's gone up in cost. So things do go up, they don't seem to go down if I scrap a district, at least immediately. Annoying. So green spider that tend to little ones that get on my glasses, get on my hair, it's annoying. And not bite these ones for whatever reason. But they're irritating and worrying, you know, they're some tiny, something a little bigger. Maybe I'll start getting bites from. Probably can't even pierce my skin, they're so small. First, give me a sec. Shoot, didn't quite see where it went. First there one's so small they didn't have any pigmentation. Now it's one's a tiny bit bigger, black. Definitely some spare. We had a bunch of eggs that hatched not long ago. And oh well. Could have come from the family member's house I was staying at. They dropped some stuff off, and then my bro's like, "You can go get it." And I know right before I left there was a spider that was about to. I had eggs that were about to hatch, so maybe they'd gotten into some of my stuff before. I don't know how my stuff was treated since I never came in and saw, so maybe it was placed somewhere near there. I don't know. Since, I was never around the house or anything. Just, oh, your car's over there, you can go. You know the code to, you can get stuff out of it, and then taught this person, my brother arranged like that, and anyways, annoying because well, there's stuff I would have rather had that wasn't there. And anyways, deep core mining, minerals from miners, minerals from star bases. I guess. It's worker efficiency. I add a bunch of alloy foundries. I'll actually won't have that much mineral surplus anymore, surprisingly. Got one highly automated mine district. Sick. And just don't have any actual workers mining, just to automate. Still manages to produce 15 minerals for an upkeep of 8 energy. Nine minerals if I didn't have the surface quarries. I'll eat energy plus 1 for the district, plus 5 for other stuff, so 13 energy for 15 minerals, and actually reduced by a little less than that because it's reduced by 10% upkeep. Filtrations, anyways, One sec. Sorry about that. Sip my water. Quite right. Robots to a synth. These two were working as doesn't matter. Thought they were civilians. Made no sense. Detonation jobs unfilled. The hell? Come on. Why is it? I'd much rather have unemployed robots than people. Since people have higher habitability there. Well. The weighting system is wrong. Ignores habitability concerns. Oop. I should have signed. Scientist and science ship. Still have more survey out this way. It's at least a way to train up the scientists. I guess I'll give it a shot. Also grab the battle wreckage site.
We have detected an anomaly.
By chance, we stumbled upon a faint alien signal during the survey of this planet. The source appears to be a small object in orbit. The signal contains no message. Could it be a distress transponder? Quite possibly. Investigate. Research here. There might even be anomalies down there. Gotta put them somewhere if I'm having the person investigate who's specialized in anomalies. These debris before they expire. I want to grab these specialized combat computers eventually. Too. I'm doing this stuff. It does make automating districts a little more cost effective. I get more stuff. Takes fewer people to pay the upkeep of automation building. So the labor I free up is more likely to be enough for that. This makes the absolute gains more in automated mines, but so if I'm setting some up just to be automated, they'll pay for their own mineral costs sooner, even if it doesn't affect how effective it is to do that versus using, actual, like, wiring labor, which will pay it back in the same time. How cost effective that is depends in large part on how much labor is free up that doesn't have to go into the upkeep, so it's a little bit different. Another empire in this direction or this. Getting away with misclicks. Tiny selection boxes to actually remember criminals actually went down there. It's ridiculous.
Construction completed.
Trade hubs. And a hydroponics bay. Alright, maybe not the hydroponics bay quite yet. Let's do a trade up now, but alloys. Next 6 months or so, the shipyard and involves construction is proceeding at pace. District will eat up like 100 of the civilians by not adding jobs as fast as adding population here. Whatever. It's about pop growth and probably don't have the ability to send people to Whitson yet. Pops will actually produce more pop growth there because the more space per person, basically. And if the pop growth in absolute terms is less, cost effectiveness of adding space is also less. Until the ratio of pops to planet capacity is the same as on a synth, it's going to be a more cost-effective place in terms of. Although we'll have to obviously develop it for there be useful things the pops do there.
Construction completed.
Boom. I don't even see a hint of AI about grabbing Dubby yet. Hmm. $3,500. It's close. It might save a month. I was gonna drop this. Yeah, this one research outpost with 4. So I'll do this. And then a starbase. I'll go and grab Charna, I guess. I need to get a science ship over to Gothra. It's surveying, so we can build an outpost there. Still cleaning up a lot of debris. Quite reached the airplane hyperspace. No. I don't know, they called this warship for a little while. Because I really do need to do Grapher soon. Pretty sure this should totally been destroyed by now. No, I do have a big enough fleet to deal with it. Way up keeping the science ship rolling. Favorite. Slow digestive processes. There. Our criminals on anchor just keeps decreasing, interestingly. These jobs are not. They're supposed to be higher priority than other ones, they're always filled. It's not happening. But yeah, society's values shift and change in our own world. It seems shifting more and more, being engineered to very powerful and rich. There's a true egalitarian society where not just politics but economy were controlled by the ordinary people, i.e. socialism is a part of that, but also democracy in the political realm, i.e. democratic socialism. I'm not talking about social democracy, which is still capitalism, just welfare systems. I'm not talking about communism, I'm talking about democracy. I'm not talking about Marxist-Leninist one party state nonsense. I'm talking about multi-party democracy with many socialist parties and worker control of means of production. You have that, and there would be no super powerful billionaire group or entrenched political elites who get their power in capitalism from the capitalist class and one party state like the Soviet Union from there's only one party. You end up with a truly egalitarian society, and I suspect ethics would evolve in a very different direction without corrupt, powerful people trying to shift them in their favor. Because our ethics are slowly being changed in society. Right now, towards driving hate and intolerance and fear, because that's a useful thing to divide and conquer the masses of people. People who say our ethics are being, sometimes you're getting like these right-wing pieces of shit who think, no, actually it's their fear and hatred that's being amplified. Because it's useful. It's kind of ironic. Like the people who have "Don't Tread on Me" flags and also are rabidly supportive of the police. Do they realize that the police are literally the boots that tread on people these days? Police and abroad, like the military. Police oppress people within our borders, and the military oppress people outside our borders. In other countries who want to do things we don't like with their economies, such as nationalizing their oil or copper, i.e. Chile. Ancient white pod. Yeah, that's what I thought. Alright. So many robots in a synth. If there's ever a robot revolution, I'm in trouble there. I mean, well, it's not that many yet, but it just keeps growing. 104, 42. 146. I have 2,500 pops. If you get AI revolution, miraculously, the robots can be massively outnumbered and still take over a planet with ease. You'd assume people would fight back. And the defense armies in your planet would fight back if nothing else, but no. Apparently all the law enforcement do like outside school shootings where they won't actually go in. What? Robots are taking over the power grid? No, we'll just sit here and sip coffee and not do anything about it. That's... Fortunately, I imagine that works here. We're about to scare you. We don't want to fight them. That's literally our job. Man, get facing danger as well. I mean, it's scary. This is somebody who was in ROTC, Army ROTC for a while, and was an EMT. You face all kinds of dangers from getting mauled by dogs as an EMT, because yeah, people's dogs freak the fuck out when they're sick and injured and you come and try and help. Sometimes they don't. They say they got their dogs contained and it like breaks down a door and stuff happens. I was at one person's house where they had a big dog and it was freaking out, so they put it in the next room between this weak door, and it was like, it was freaking out. It was trying to break that door. If it had broken it down, we would have been in trouble. I think they put the little dog in like a carrier cage. It's like, how about you put the big dog? I'm not worried about that little thing. But it won't rip my throat out. But the big one will. Because the problem wasn't helping the patient's anxiety either. But yeah. People were hurt. Their dogs automatically assume that people come to help. The only time my dogs normally love me and they like lick my face off and so friendly. The only times I've ever had dogs be hostile to me is when I was in my EMT uniform, which admittedly looked maybe similar enough to a dog, like police uniforms. So maybe the person's had a bad experience with police. When the dog was around, it's possible. But it's more likely just because the person was hurt. The uniform is strange and smells of sick people, and dogs are very sensitive to smell. Yeah, if you have a dog and you ever call 911 for a medical emergency, please do put the dog in like a cage or something if you can. Heck, even no matter what the emergency, if possible. EMTs are afraid of the dogs because sometimes they do get mauled by them. Police, some of those fuckers will shoot dogs. I kid you not. It's horrible, but they will. Just because they're afraid of them, and I mean, the fear might be justified, but their reaction is not. Some of them are a little trigger happy. So for the dog's sake, and those of the first responders, call 911. Please do try and secure any dogs. I'll not be doing that work anymore, but my long COVID, but still have memories of these things. Just you can see, it'd be 3.99 without the city district here. Another one, 3.96 with construction isn't interfering that much pop growth. Cool. This guy's a civilian. Let's anchor before he decides he wants to be a specialist again.